Like up to this point of my life, I used to believe treat people how they treat you. Uh, like if someone hate you for no reason, just give them a reason to hate you and just move on. That was I thought up to now. But now when I think that there is a true nature of a person and there are people playing roles, I meet 20 people in my whole day, and for some I am like god, I help them and I'm a good friend of them, but for some I am like enemy, they just hate me. So even like I'm not sure about my own nature. How can I predict someone's nature then? That is
you
my
have
question.
to start from where you are, to start with yourself. How come you don't know your nature? Your nature is to not remain confounded. That's why you have the mic this moment, right? You had a doubt. You didn't like it. So you stood up and asked. That's nature. Realization, knowledge, that's her nature. Bodh, that's her nature. Right?
But I do have capacity to like change my nature depending
No, you have
on
the capacity to hide your nature. You have the capacity to
So, like,
suppress.
how do
It can't
we?
be changed. It can be suppressed. It
So
can
how
be
do we?
obfuscated.
How do we differentiate, sir? Like, which is like the true nature and which one I am suppressing it and which one I am just showing it to the
Check
people?
for fear and temptation. If something is being done under the influence of fear or greed, it's a suppression of your nature. Right now, by asking this question, there is nothing that you really get apart from clarity. Right? So there can be no greed really. You won't be paid for asking this question. Yeah. And once you know that realization is your nature, you also know that's not just your nature. That's the inevitable destiny of every single human being. That's what pulls us. That's what calls us. That's what is love. To surrender yourself to that, to the highest possible, to the skies. And then that's what you evaluate people on. You see, please understand. Once you see what is best for yourself, once you see what we are born for, each one of us, that's what you respect then in everybody. Right? A wise man, a seer, a thinker. Even if he kicks you, you must still be with him. You won't say he's not being good to me, so I won't be good to him. No. He kicks you, you should still be with him. At the same time, a dog licks you, you won't lick him back. Or would you? You won't say he's being good to me, so I'll be good to him. The dog licked me and now I'm licking the dog.
But I'll feed him. No, it is good to me.
Why?
It's loyal to me, and
why will you feed him?
It's my pet.
What if he has rabies?
Like
What? Why?
Just in case it's my pet,
See,
I
if
will.
your pet, right? Your pet.
Yes.
Your pet.
My pet.
We don't do that to strays very often.
Yes.
But to pets. I have nothing against dogs. I love dogs. It was to make a point that I use this example. Please understand. What you are saying is, the dog is being good to me, so I'll feed him. What you don't see implicit in your assertion is that if even the wisest man is not good to you, you will not respect him. Please understand, because the person is wise, even his disrespect towards you would be good for you. If the fellow really has his heart in the right place, even if he kicks you, it would be good for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All actions hold the quality of the actor. If the actor is wise, even a violent looking action will be good for you. Equally, if the fellow is an animal at heart, even his good looking actions will be dangerous for you. And that's where we don't draw the line. We say, but he's acting nicely. He's acting nicely. Well, acting is acting. Look at the actor. The one performing the action. If he's not well, even the acts of kindness that he performs will prove dangerous. And even the punishment that you get from a wise person will prove life-saving.
So how do I come to know that he is actually wise and he is not
By knowing
pretending
yourself.
to be wise?
Already answered that. By knowing yourself. You must know where your bondages are. You must know how ignorance envelops us all. And then you will realize who is not so ignorant. You will realize who is challenging ignorance and bondages. It has to start within. You had a question? Yes. We'll come to you after that.
Hello, sir. I wanted to ask, this would be applicable for any relationship or any companionship. But then again, do the same thing we should apply for every person we associate with, be it a family member, be it a friend, or be it anyone we would spend our time with?
Any adult.
Yes.
Any conscious adult.
Okay.
This does not apply to those who are mentally infirm or kids.
Otherwise, we will have to follow this.
Every single person, with the exception of kids or the mentally unstable.
Okay,
Only these two are exempt.
Sure. Secondly, I would also want to highlight on one of the aspects she spoke on. If one person is at a higher place and another person is little lower than the first one, here the lower gets benefited and is also improving on, so that they both are in the same direction. But then again, how about the higher person? That person also has to look somebody more higher so that he can be anchored, or is it the only relationship between the two?
Good. Yes.
Yes, right. Okay. Thank you.
One arm.
Yes.
You must allow it to raise yourself.
Right.
Hold the one who sits
Above.
higher than where you are. And with the other arm, hold someone
Who can be pulled in.
who has to be pulled up.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
So these days, modern psychologists, they emphasize a lot on emotional availability and EQ and efforts. So I feel that these things should be effortless. Like, one part of my mind says it should be effortless because we have to focus on the main thing in our life, right?
See, please understand, psychology is about keeping you functional and stable. Does not mention at which level. Right? You go to a psychologist, he will never care for your liberation from your inner bondages. The psychologist will say you are all right if you are behaving all right. You're all right if you are behaving in a socially acceptable way, then you're all right. Which means you could be at a lower level of consciousness, but still if you are behaving in a stable, consistent, predictable, acceptable way, then you're all right. Then you're all right. It is not about elevation of your internal level. It is not about getting to the right center within. No.
So when they say efforts.
Yes, obviously, put efforts, this, that. The entire thing is be stable at whichever level you are. Whichever level. And in most relationships, that suffices, does it not? My husband is an idiot, but doesn't cause trouble. Stable idiot. But wisdom is often maverick. We would rather have a stable idiot as our partner than a maverick sage. And when you go to a psychologist, the psychologist will say the idiot is all right because he is stable. But the sage, there is certainly some problem there. He is behaving in socially unacceptable ways, unpredictable ways. There is some problem with this man. So many great thinkers and philosophers, if their case studies are presented to psychologists, they'll say, this one is sick. Bring him to the clinic. In fact, take him to some rehab. I have all the respect for the field of psychology, just that psychology doesn't care for liberation. That's all. Psychology doesn't care for liberation.
So when they say you have to put efforts in a relationship, like how important is it?
So as to equalize things, to flatten the ground.
But ideally, we don't need to put efforts, right? It should be
If you have to put in efforts, they must arise from love. Out of love, you care for the other, but then also not too much selectively towards the other. In love, obviously, there is a lot of effort. But those who have known, they have said it is an effortless effort. You may get tired from the outside, but it doesn't tire you down from the inside. So within it, all happens very spontaneously, therefore effortlessly. It is not the contrived kind of effort. It just happens. It just happens because it has to happen, just like the flow of a river. There is so much happening, but no one making the effort for it.
And how important is emotional availability?
What do you mean by that?
Even
Emotional availability, what is that? Which means somebody comes to sob and your shoulder must be available? Yeah?
maybe being available.
Vacate the shoulder. Be emotionally available. Huh? Or somebody comes to dump his garbage. And you must vacate your inner area for that. Right? The kind of filth that cannot be disclosed to anybody, that should not be disclosed to anybody because it carries no value at all. But because you are my partner, 4 hours of your time I will eat up. Just to unload my garbage, not unload, dump. And if you refuse to listen, or your phone battery dies down, then you will be called insensitive. I am being emotionally open to you, and you couldn't even keep a spare phone ready. Every day, 4 hours in the night, emotional connectivity is happening. Every night, without exception. And what is that about? You know, when I was 2 years old, then I had this trauma. And now my boss, she is such a bitch. And I hate that singer. Please think of my emotions. I'm just a little fat, and yet when I was 12, I was told by that particular aunt, and I'm still carrying that. Please listen to all this.
It's the work of that own individual to work on their own emotions, right? We don't have to.
This is cruel.
Yeah.
This is outright cruel. Do you see this?
And the psychologists make it sound like it is a very basic thing to expect emotional availability. I don't feel it is basic.
It is one thing to act as a mirror. It is one thing to be available to clarify. It is another thing to act as a waste basket for the other. These are two very different things. Do we draw the line? You come to me with your clutter and your confusion, and I help you clear it. That is one thing. The other thing is, you have become habituated to dumping your rubbish on me. Why? Because there is nobody in the universe who would listen to it. So I am the only unfortunate one. Because I happen to be your partner. So you bring all your nonsense and throw it on my face. And say, this is why we are emotionally related. These are two very different things. In one, you are a genuine seeker, asking for clarity. In the other, you are violent, you are cruel. You don't need clarity. In fact, you want to drag the other down to your own level. What if the other is a writer or a scientist? Genuinely good job to do. And you want hours of his time for this kind of emotional hobnobbing. And if it doesn't allot you that time, you weep buckets and accuse him of infidelity. Surely you are seeing someone else. So familiar, right? Even I know. And we know what we are doing. After wasting 4 hours of somebody's time, and then we say, I don't want to waste more of your time. So you already knew, right? You already knew you were wasting my time all along. Now, having wasted my time, you also want to have the moral upper hand. So you're saying, no, I don't want to waste any more of your time. It's already been 4 hours. And I know you are anyway not interested in listening to what I'm saying. Having robbed him of his 4 hours, now you are accusing that he is anyway not interested. So I'm disconnecting. And if you really love me, you'll call me back. Run away. Block, D&D, whatever you can do. At least don't inflict this treatment on somebody. Right? And don't be so desirous, don't be so needy that you tolerate when this happens to you. For 2 hours, he is telling you about his office politics. Nonsense. What do you have to do with his office politics? What elevation, what enlightenment is there in sharing the details of office politics? You know that peon, he is all the time ogling at the boss's secretary. What great revelation! The listener is now enlightened for sure. And you are sharing your recipe. You then put some methi in this, and then why? No, but these little things, that's what is love, no? Is it not? No, sir. Nalpe sukham. There can be no joy in pettiness. Only in the infinite, only in the boundaryless. Only in that which is unbounded, free totally, there is joy. Yo vabhuma tat sukham. Why are you dragging the other down to your petty affairs? First of all, you should give up your own petty affairs. If you have to share, share greatness. If you have to share beauty and excellence. Share the stories of your daring struggles. Have something that can inspire the other. But we don't have any of that. So what do we share? Today again I saw the peon going after that woman. What kind of rubbish? But it's entertaining, right? Yeah. Yes.
So just to close this topic, okay, I'll just say it anyway. Just to close this topic, the ultimate goal should be to overcome the need of companionship.
Just to close this topic, I'll open another question. Is this not company? Is this not sufficient? What more do you want?
No. Actually, I got my answer to this question yesterday, but because this is a conversation going on,
when you are with a book, when you are in your lab, when you are working with anything, right? You can be rightfully immersed in. How is that not sufficient? And I'm not talking of austerity or celibacy or brahmacharya here. None of those things. I'm talking of your first love. Your first love has to be with this. With anything that's exalted. With anything that's of the skies. That has to be your first love. First relationship. And from that first love, if other relationships emerge, please welcome them. We are not talking of remaining solitary all life. No. You anyway cannot remain solitary. We are surrounded all the time. Do you get this? We are not talking in the traditional way of forbidding relationships. We are not doing that. What we are saying is, if you relate to the other from a false center, the relationship becomes a curse. And from the right center, your first relationship is with rightness itself. When that is your first relationship, all your other relationships fall in place. Acquire that flavor, that aroma. That's all. That's all.
I definitely resonate with this. Thank you.
Yes. We all are waiting.